This is a bob or a body opponent bag. It's used by a lot of different martial artists, martial arts schools. Start off with a palm strike to the nose, followed up by eye gouge, and then put in an elbow technique to his temple, another elbow technique, and then come in here, and then boom. I can even demonstrate some of my techniques from my super extreme death metal fighting system. Oh man, he's got my arms, maybe he's punching me, he's fucking headbutting me. I gotta try to protect my face, and then boom, I can just try to reach for his eyes and just scoop him out with my thumb, and then maybe the other one, and then maybe I can just grab, like, just pretty much dig my thumbs into his eyes, and I can just come in with a bite.
Now we're gonna ask the ladies to help us do the next two.
Before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe.
Alright there. Now I'm still at Big Mummy Dangerfield's house, so I've got to keep the voice down a little bit, but lovely to talk to you. It's in the early hours of Friday morning, and on Monday I fly to Phnom Penh. On Monday it's Cambodia, yo yo, here we go go. So this is kind of crazy, so I've got a few days left. Massive respect to my patrons, people who support me, the super chats earlier, a couple of one-off donations come earlier through Maker Support and PayPal, and I can't work out how to contact those people, but thank you very much. As you can imagine, setting up a new life abroad, every fucking penny's gold at the moment, so much appreciated. During today's stream also, I started talking about my street, the street I grew up in, and some of the things that went on then, markedly different from the life in even this street today, let alone other places in England. And Hugh, on the Offensive channel, suggested I talk a bit further about this and explain some things that went on, because it was a beautiful time. You know, these were wonderful days. I can remember those summers, like between sort of 75 and 78, just seeming to go on forever, and it was always nearly dusk. You know, that's my memory of it. The sort of sun visible in the sky, warm in a country notoriously wet and cold, kind of long warm evenings, and what you get in England that you don't get in exotic sort of tropical places that I try and get to and are moving to. You don't get those light evenings. I'm sure there are some places, but in England it will still be light at approaching 10 o'clock in the evening. And in those beautiful long summers, what fantastic times. My mum knew every single person on this road. There's 26 houses both sides, and what are they? Two up, two down, middle of terraced houses, little front garden, long back garden. But she knew literally every single person. I'll tell you why. Because she, Big Mama Danger, she ran the street club, and it was totally off her own back. This wasn't something she inherited or was told to do, or went through some organisation. She just went round, got everyone together, had a committee, formed a committee, I think, with Barbara, Alice, Susan, Pauline, and Joe, like an inner sanctum. And they decided to have a street club. So they went round everyone in the street and said, look, do you want to be part of this? If not, no worries. If you do, you put, so it was something like 50p a week or £1 a week. Or if you had kids, I don't know, I can't imagine there was any strong arming. Went around and collected the money, and they would be spent on different days out. Like, we used to go to the seaside quite a lot. You know, with that many people in the street, the seaside would be a good one. People would be up for that, more so perhaps than a disco down the RAF hall. But they'd get one of those huge coaches. I'll always remember the company, Cedar coaches, with the sort of accidentally psychedelic seating and carpet combo that sort of give you a sense of four dimensions on the way to an English Riviera. And if there was some spare seats, if some people cancelled late or whatever, I mean, there'd be two of these coaches to get everyone down there. My mum would contact the local orphanage, and she had no qualifications in that area, but she'd just say, "Look, we've got 5 seats. Do you want to send some of the orphans down with us to Margate for the day?" And we'd pick up a lot of orphans on the way, go down the beach, and just lovely fish and chips, ice cream in that freezing cold lead blue water. Glorious days. So the days to the beach that was quite special and quite regular. Like I said, we'd also have the discotheque down at the RAF hall, and they always had the same DJ. I think they were called Sunstroke, which is an illness where you're sick and that. I think it was sunstroke. I thought it was weird at the time, and now I'm convinced of it. But he had his like rope lighting and his 2 little cabinets of like little flashing lights, and they'd be going and they'd play that jingle, jingle, rock, rock, and everyone would be down on the floor in between each other's legs in a long train, jingle, jingle. But everyone, I'm talking babies, would be sat in the corner sort of thing, and all the toddlers would be passed out, and everyone was getting pissed, and balloons everywhere, and everyone dancing. Amazing times. There was this couple, Mark and Jeanette they were called, and they were disco dancers. Yeah, oh, without doubt, this is what, 78 discotheque dancers. They had the most leery outfits, like really sort of do dance, but competitive disco dancing. He was bald as a coot, and the rest of the street, started by Big Mummy Danger, of course, referred to them hilariously as the small people or the little people. Endless repetitive humiliation. Oh, here they are, the small people. Like little dwarves they are. But they were like competitive dwarven disco dancers. And at one of the parties at the RAF hall, he decided to involve me, the geezer Mark, and he was like spinning me round, and everyone was like in a circle, yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck's happening, being like thrown about. And he dropped me, and as I span down, head towards concrete, he got me at the last minute, and everyone was like, oh, I can remember that. Another thing I remember from the RAF hall was once when all the kids were asleep, it was well past midnight, just the dregs really, and the DJ put on this song. It went, I'm a wanker, I'm the oldest wanker in town. And like I remember all the blokes were cracking up and dancing. I was looking at them, and I was really trying to understand masculinity. It was around the same time I saw a man in the street just over there drinking out of a carton of orange juice, a whole carton to himself, and I remember thinking, oh yeah, I'll be drinking out of cartons when I'm a man. Yeah, I'll do that. I did it occasionally. Eventually, I mean. Anyway, so we had the beach and we had that, and there was other things. The Jubilee, the Silver Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee. People were painting their their drain pipes and their fences like all sort of Union Jack, red, white and blue, or actual Union Jacks. The drain pipes, one bloke had silver drain pipes. My old man was working at a flag factory at the time. He was a painter and decorator and builder and all that, so he wasn't working for the company. He was doing some work on their building, and he was getting his Union Jacks, and I shit you not, these were huge, so huge in fact, and is the best demonstration of its size. It was used as a tablecloth for all the kids, and in the middle of the street, they got the street closed off each end, and in the middle of the street everyone had brought their tables out, and they put this huge flag over it, and all the kids were sitting around it with their silly hats on, stuffing themselves full of sugar and shit. It was amazing. And we had all like games in the road. I've got some photos. There aren't a lot of them because this is pre everyone having a phone. This is, in those days, hardly anyone had a camera, and if you wanted to see the photos, you had to send the film off. Seriously, like you'd get 26, or if you had the money, a 38. I think it was a 38 exposure. Oh fuck knows, not enough ever. You send off this little cartridge, and about a year later, they'd send you back all the photos. Once you'd thrown out the out of focus ones that were just nothing, and the finger over the lens, and where there was a processing error, things like that. You'd have 4 terrible photos, and I found some of them of that era and the street party. So have a look afterwards. I'll put them up. But yeah, that we in the evening after the flag, tablecloth, and all the food and the games. You know, the one with the balloon in between the knees, and you got to run up and put it in a bucket, and someone goes through your legs, and everyone's howling. In the evening, we had a DJ, same bloke, Sunstroke, DJ Double Decks. He was in the street, and everyone was just having like a dance. like at night for a party. Everyone in what an amazing thing, and people came from streets around. This wasn't this what there were other ones. I'll be honest with you, but we were smashing it. When you got Big Money Danger on the firm, it was just wonderful, and all dancing. And I can remember, I think it might have been the royal wedding, Lady Di and Charles, and we sat round here painting little flags, bunting. Didn't buy them, no, we were getting A4 sheets of paper, cutting it up, getting your little triangles and painting Union Jacks on one after two after 100, thousands of them, strung them up all outside, and of course it pissed down. And I remember my mum just looking at them, and afterwards we had all these sort of white with a touch of blue and red flags everywhere, kind of abstract addition to proceedings. But incredibly different times. The street in general was amazing. It wasn't, now it's car to car, both sides, cars all the way. People who live here struggle to park. It's very near the train station and people can get into central London quickly, so don't even think about parking. In those days, early 70s, handful. During the day, almost none. We'd be out there playing tennis, football, so much room, and not a danger. It wasn't like watch out for the road. At the same time, during the summer, again, and when I remember it tends to be summer, but there were glorious winter memories, when it's all snowed and you're all stuck in, and my dad got his wooden skis down that he had when he done national service in Borneo in Switzerland in the army, and he went down the road on his skis and everyone was out laughing. Just times. And again, in summer, all the doors open and you could just go from family, like we can start up there. We've got Wayne and Anthony Johnson and their parents, then there's Ben and Joe Mahoney, then you've got the Hortons, two of them, then you've got me, my brother, then over there you've got the Gardners, 6 of them, 5 Downings, 2 Jarvises, just amazing, all these kids, and just knowing each other, all those sort of early sort of experiences with girls and girls with boys and all that, and playing hide and seek. We played 40-40. I'm sure there's a version of it everywhere. One of you goes like that up against the lampposts, and we had to go 40-40 scouts, no falls around me, up or down me, or around me, go. And then you count down from 40, and then right at the end you go, come in, ready or not. And you turn around and everyone's hidden. And you've got to go and find them. When you see one, it's not it. You have to run back to that main post and touch them and say 40-40. And then they're done. If they get back, they're safe, etc. Until there's only one left, and it's whoever's in. Great times, all of us, just all out. And I could wander in and out of houses as a toddler. I can just remember going down to Candy and Mick's place and just walking in and sitting there. And I must have been like 4, just sitting on the sofa going, "What are you doing today, Candy and Mick?" And then go to another house and grab some biscuits. And the old ladies, there was the woman next door, Mrs. Morris. She lived until she was about 90, I think. And next door, all my life she'd been there. She'd seen me be a baby right up until a late teenager. And just amazing. She went to me once. She used to sit there, big fat woman in one of those sort of 70s caftan things, purple rinse, spiky glasses. Terrifying image, really, but I loved her to death. And I was sitting there, and she went. She was like a bit like that, smoking all rolled up, and she went, "Do you know what an uffum is? Do you know what an uffum is?" I went, "No." She went, puts its head in the ground and whistles out its arse. And my mum, Big Mummy Danger's like, "Mrs. Morris." I'm thinking it's hilarious. Next to her, Nella and Joe, old people, used to be nurses. So, of course, fall off your bike, get taken around there. He'd like touch around, make sure it's not broken, and just felt so warm and safe in their house. And Nella there with a cup of tea and all that. They'd send us up the shops. At the top of the road, there was a cobbler's. A cobbler's, not a shoe repair shop necessarily, but a place that would re-sole your shoes, put heels on. Proper old machines whirring round. Mrs. Morris would send me up there to get a pack of fags, 20 B&H. I'd come back, she'd give me 2p. 2 pence. And this is like in 84 now I'm talking. No, that's a bit late 70s. 2 pence though, sweet. And sometimes she'd knock at the door and go, "I got this for you," and give me a bowl. She'd give me a bowl of bread and dripping once. The lard with the meat, blood stuff. Oh my, thanks. I think my dad ate it. They used to get me to climb through windows around here as well. Like if you got locked out and you had an open window, I'd be, I was quite flexible and all that then, and I'd sort of had some bottle, but I was still scared. Like sometimes they'd carry me up a ladder. Being carried up a ladder and thrown through a window, brilliant though, going through and then bouncing off of their bed and having a weird look round their bedroom that you'd never seen. You could walk in their houses, but there were limits. And everyone would be downstairs, sort of looking up the ladder as you went in. Hey! cobblers up there, bookmakers at the bottom, had a cobblers at the top and a bookmakers up there, and it was a classic bookman, stunk to shit. Oh, the only people that went in, they were like scruffy old men, you know, and a couple of mental ones. They'd walk down the road with a and I was terrified of one of them. He had all-rim glasses as well. He used to wear what do they call them? What do the council wearers wear with a shiny donkey jacket? You have a donkey jacket with Dartford Borough Council, DBC. Let the music play. He had DBC on the back. And he'd come down the road with his own glasses, like, and I used to fucking run from him, man. Oh. And then I told you before about the women like Janine. Janine was this absolute salt. Went out with bald Phil. Phil had a little moustache, bald, you know the look. And he was punching. Oh, he was punching, but he had the pound coins. She was only about 20. He was about 60. But she used to walk around like a virgin, Madonna album cover with the little lace gloves and the little rah-rah skirt. And I was near 12 years old. Oh yeah, I used to walk in her open door. She used to drag her red nails across my belly, just like tickling me, and I began, oh, the thoughts. Yeah. Growing up here was amazing. It was a different place, different country, different world, different values, different wants, different expectations, different people.